Previously on this channel. Wow, nether portal. Make annoying noise. Very sad. But what if can hide? Can do that. Yeah, but what if you could make it bigger? You can. So yeah, in the last video, I made this, well not the last video, but you know, the last nether portal video. I was showing you 2x3 nether portals that you could hide, like that. And the redstone looks a little like this. And they're all cool, but I really wanted to do a 3x3. But it was really difficult because of how the redstone works in Bedrock Edition. It's really hard to get things work the way you want to. Stuff will go off at random times compared to each other and break the entire thing. But we managed to do it. So the redstone for this one looks like this. And we've got these two sections of honey and slime, and at some point the honey or the slime does actually start pulling the other one's blocks. But because unlike the other design, I have these dispensers that do the water bucket to destroy the portal, and then the fire charge to pull it back. But on the other design they got pulled by the slime and honey blocks, which go over them to put the blocks in place to hide the door away. That used to pull the dispensers, but what I do now is I just use pistons at the back to hide those dispensers away. And we've got a torch here. And all we've got to do is hide them away the entire time the door is opening or closing. And then the one with the fire charge in it, when that gets pushed up, this torch next to it will activate it because it's powered. And that'll put the portal back, so when it's all gone back and the dispensers come up, that'll set the fire charge off. But then when we turn on our lever to open it up and put the portal in place, we use this redstone and repeater to activate these observers, which will power the dispenser with water twice, so it'll place water, break the portal, and take it back. And then the dispenser gets pulled down, and then we use a repeater, torch, and some redstone and repeaters to power these torches at the side, which push the pistons out. And then this redstone in the middle is just on some slabs, so it doesn't power the dispensers and put water on everything, or set things on fire, or just throw those items out while the door is closed. So that's the point of how everything works, and I'm really happy with how absolutely tiny I've got it. It's like within the dimensions of the door, apart from maybe the bottom, but not really because of where the pistons are. Like, you literally just couldn't make this smaller. And I don't like making that claim, because like people usually find some really weird way to make things smaller, but genuinely, like, the portal goes up to here, so I've not even used all the space I have. So yeah, you couldn't make this smaller in before someone does, but you know, shh, it's good enough for now, okay? But you probably want to build it. Oh look, it's the resources. You're going to need 6 redstone dust, 7 redstone torches, 7 redstone repeaters, 2 observers, 2 dispensers, not droppers, they have to be dispensers, 2 slabs, 3 honey blocks, 3 slime blocks, and 15 obsidian. One of these isn't necessary actually, but it's just otherwise you'd have a weird gap in the door, so 15. And 2 of them are for the torches here, because otherwise these blocks will get pulled by the slime blocks. So, if your portal, it's kind of hard to see, isn't it, when I've got a black background. But anyway, if your portal's like this, then you're going to need 3 blocks of space underneath for redstone. You're going to need 1 block of floor in front for pistons pushing blocks up, because this is where your door folds out to. You don't need any blocks above it, but you do need 3 blocks behind where the portal is for the redstone stuff as well. So that's the space you need, and it'll also extend to the sides of the portal. This is a 3x3 portal, of course. So one thing I did forget on the resources list is to destroy the portal, you're going to need 1 water bucket to go in the dispenser. You're going to need a flint and steel for the dispenser here, and you might want to fill it with those actually, because otherwise they're going to run out pretty fast. So yeah, add those to your resources, I guess. So first thing we're going to do is behind the portal on each side. So 1 block back from this there's going to be dispensers, and then there's just an obsidian between them, because that means there's not an awkward gap there, and that stops it getting pulled by the slime and honey. Speaking of which, if we go 1 block behind the dispensers, we're going to have honey blocks like this, and slime blocks like this, and destroy the blocks underneath. And you could also do it the other way around, you can mix and match, do the slime like that and the honey like that, but you need 3 on each side in this shape because otherwise it wasn't reliable. Bedrock edition things. Now on each side, behind these, we're going to do 2 pistons. So on the left side and the right side. There we go. And at the front, if we place blocks, these are going to get pushed up from the floor. So we need 3 pistons underneath those to push those blocks up. And I'd recommend not putting the water in the dispenser until the very end. And what you should first do is just put some items in here and see if 2 of them get thrown out before it pulls down to check that it's working properly. So I guess I'll leave those in there for now. And we do the input as a block. So to input into here, you do a repeater like this, going to a lever somewhere. Behind this block, we do a block with redstone on it. Then we do a block next to that block with a repeater on top of it, with a block to power the middle piston. Then we do another block going across with another repeater into a block. And then a redstone on the other side to power this piston. Okay, now we're going to need our 2 observers, and we do 1 above this redstone aiming into the obsidian, and then another one next to that one. And we do a block underneath that with a repeater on 2 ticks. And then there's a redstone above that, and that's because the first one will power the redstone through the obsidian block, and then the second one will power it after the repeater goes off. So that'll put our water out and then back in. So we can test this with the 2 lights by turning it on and seeing if 2 items come out. And we can see there's 2 items that have come out. So that's working as intended. I'd still not put water in now because it might flood everything. Okay, next to this repeater, we're going to do a block. And then a block on the other side of that block with redstone on top, like that. Then we're going to do 2 blocks next to that block and redstone like that with a repeater. And a repeater on the other one. The repeater on the left is on 3 ticks, so 1 from the end. And the repeater on the right is on its full delay, like that. And then the first repeater goes into a block with a torch on it. And next to each side this torch we have our sticky pistons that aim at our dispensers like that. And so now if we turn our lever, we should see the dispensers get pulled down and then come back up. And 2 items get thrown out. This repeater in the middle goes into a block and a torch with a block on top. Then in front of that torch we're going to do a block. Then we need to do a block like slabs, stairs or glass on either side. And that's to stop these powering the dispensers when they get pulled down, because they have redstone on them like this. So if these were full blocks like wool, then when dispensers got pulled down, this redstone would power it. And again, that'll make them throw the items out or set things on fire or flood things. So don't want that. This redstone goes into blocks on either side with a torch on top. And then an obsidian block above these torches, and that's because they power the top piston when it gets pushed to here. Then, coming from the sides of the torch, we have 2 more blocks and repeaters on 3 ticks. Going into blocks on either side with a torch, and these power the back pistons. So what will happen is these obsidian blocks get powered first, then these torches get powered when the repeaters turn off, powering the back piston. Because the obsidian block is powered, the top piston will go off when it's there. But because these are powered first, they turn off first, which means this piston will pull back, and then the bottom piston will pull everything back. So that's what that does. So we should actually see that if we do it now. So dispenser throws out blocks, the slime blocks push forward, and then we turn it off, they pull back. But as you can see, the dispensers pull back too early and destroy our redstone, because we need to delay this torch with the dispensers coming on. So we'll just put our redstone back. And sorry if you just destroyed stuff, that was just for demonstration for what we're doing next. So what we do is, if we go to the back on the other side to the input, where the torch is aiming into the torch at where the repeater is aiming into the torch at the back, we do a block underneath with redstone on it. Then we do a torch to the side, and that should be off if the lever is off. And then we do a repeater on its default, and all we're doing is using the delay of this repeater turning back on when the pistons turn off, because again, when that's on, this is off because it's a torch, to delay the torch next to the dispensers coming on, so that they wait for everything to pull back before they go off. So I'll just destroy these front blocks so we can see everything. When we pull the lever now, we should get 2 blocks come out. I didn't put blocks in here. Right, we should get 2 blocks come out of this dispenser, and actually we'll put 1 here as well. And that reminds me, I forgot it, so yeah, I was going to put a block here because this is the fire charge, so it should go off when the dispensers come back up. But if we watch, 2 blocks come out, that folds out, this comes out all good, turn it off, they come back up at the right time, but this dispenser didn't fire, so our portal wouldn't light. And that's because we need to put a block next to it with a torch on top, so that when it gets pushed up, the torch will power it to light the portal. So now, if I put a block in that dispenser, and I've still got the ones here, when I turn it on, we should get that dispenser has fired 2 things, except it only fired 1. Oh yeah, this repeater here is supposed to be 3 ticks, not 2, under the second observer. Whoops. There we go. And now it fires 2, and they come back up, and we already saw this dispenser fires. So now, if that's all gone off in the correct order, you can fill in your blocks, so 3 on top of the sticky pistons, and then a bunch in front of the slime and honey. Then we put a water bucket in our dispenser on the right, and nothing else, because we want it to throw water and then take it back every time. And then the dispenser on the left gets a flint and steel, and like I said, might be better to just fill this up with them, because then it will take the longest time to run out, because you will have to refill these after a bit. So now if we pull our lever, should dispense water, pull back, and close up, and then when we open it, goes away, and the dispenser with the flint seal goes off and lights a portal. So now we've got our tiny 3x3 hidden portal mechanism. That is flush with the wall, so if you have a wall like this, you can hide your portal away completely, so no one knows it was ever there. So you could hide this in cliffs, you could use this in PvP, got a bunch of stuff. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this. I've been Idendied, and I'll see you in the next one. And also just a note for those of you who watch till the end, if you want to download these builds and see some of the other ones in the world, I have a download now of this redstone world that I'll update as much as I can. And I also have structure block files, so if you've ever used structure blocks, you can just import those into your already existing worlds. So you can just put any of these builds there. And also see how they're built if you found the tutorial hard to follow. And if you want to throw money, there's also a Patreon linked in the comments. So I've been Idendied, I'll see you next time.